JD, we appreciate the time. Give us a sense of what the campus like, what the campus buzz is like, and surrounding Miami Hurricane football.
I didn't realize there was a game here tonight. I don't know what you're talking about.
Snuck up on you?
Yeah. No, you know what? It's always great when the football program is playing the way they're playing and the excitement around the city, man. It's a special place. We would tell recruits there's not many better places to win than Miami. When you're at the top of your game here, it's a special place, and they love you here, and just the energy that the city already has is just multiplied, 10 times. So it's a great place to be right now.
All right, so JD, we're going to sit here, and I know you know your football. So what do they need to do tonight to win? What is Miami, the key to the game for Miami, for the Canes?
The big boys got to show up, man, the way they've been all season, man. The offensive defensive line have really been dominating and put some pressure on the Miami kid Mendoza. If we can put pressure with our front four and not have to blitz, I think we'll be in good shape.
All right.
JD, you are Miami born and raised. Mario Cristobal, the head football coach, also has very deep roots in South Florida. How does that, for both of you, how does that help you ultimately get wins, to have such strong roots in the area of which your program resides?
I think we're fans of the program before we even played here, went to school here, and now as coaches, it's a little different meaning when you win or lose here as a fan, first of all. So growing up here, we both grew up in Westchester, maybe 5 miles down the road from here. And again, before we were played here, before we went to school here, before we were coached here, and we're employees, we were fans of the program. So I can only imagine how he feels about bringing the program back to where it was back in the 80s and the 90s and stuff. So I'm just happy for him, happy for the city, and proud of everything they've done.
All right, hey JD, so let's focus on our sport, on baseball, because it's so different than football. And where I'm going to go with this is with college recruiting, where the state of the game is in college, baseball compared to football. Football is all about the portal now. I can get in the portal, I can flip my program, but baseball is about younger, because you got to battle guys that are 21 or a junior, maybe turning pro. So how do you balance that with the portal and everything else to be consistent in college baseball?
It all depends on what your needs are. I think, the portal, you're using it to fill in, holes and little gaps that you might have from guys that you might have lost to the draft that you didn't expect to lose. That's a good thing. And then there's some years where, like after going into our second season last year, we were very active in the portal, and we kind of had to turn the whole roster around. So it all depends on where you're at, but it's definitely have the opportunity for a quick fix. But I just don't think it should be an every year thing where you're building a new roster every single year. It makes it tough if that's the case, because there's always some swings and misses in the portal as there are in recruiting. But if you want consistency, then you still got to have some of your homegrown talent, some of the young guys that you develop, where they learn the system, they learn what what your program's all about, and that's the only way to have consistency, really.
Yeah, and that led me to my next question. Homegrown, being in Miami, tell us a little bit about the youth baseball in that area and the recruiting hotbed you might be sitting right in.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent here. There always has been, But I tell you one thing that the portal has done for us, and you look at our roster, we get more and more guys from all over the country where, for a high school kid, a 17-year-old, leaving home, coming to Miami, sometimes it might be, too big of a pond to dive into. But you get into the portal and you got these guys that have been in school for 2, 3, sometimes 4 years. They're willing to come from wherever they came from. Our roster last year had 3 players from the state of South Carolina. I don't think we've ever had one prior to the portal era,
Yeah.
We have kids that came from Hawaii, from Oregon, from Arizona, from New York. And that's one thing. It has opened up our recruiting landscape. The older they are, the more willing. Maybe the parents are more willing to let them, leave home and go further away. So it's definitely broadened our horizons. And we've always been a national brand in Miami. But it's just much easier to recruit those older guys that aren't afraid to go a little further from home.
And JD, you're part of a powerhouse conference as well. ACC baseball is among the best in the country. Your group made it to the Super Regionals last year before losing to another ACC team, Louisville. Your team is ranked in the preseason top 25. What's your outlook for the Hurricanes in 2026?
No, we're heading in the right direction. We're not quite where we were supposed to be, as we say around here, but we're definitely heading in the right direction. We're first Super Regional last year since 2016. It was a great ball game. That game 3 of that series is one of those games that, you're upset that you lost, but there's not much to be upset about. I mean, it was good pitching, good hitting, good defense, plays were made, and just a good 3-2 ball game, and we're that close from going back to Omaha. But definitely heading in the right direction. We feel that we got a great group back. A good core of our hitting came back. We only lost 3 hitters from our lineup, so we feel really good about our hitting. And their pitching it's just maybe some names that people haven't heard of yet, but they're going to be very recognizable here in the near future.
Hey, I had a chance to cover the College World Series, and I was told, and one of my first ones were early on, and it was like, hey, there's a kid named Pat Burrell, there's a shortstop named Alex Cora, and I got a pitcher, JD. So we're going to show a little bit of you, man. Take me back to that time, 97, when you guys were rolling and heading into Omaha and looking to go try to win a title.
That's a much slimmer. I hope my wife doesn't see that picture. She's going to be upset with me right now. But, those are fun groups, man. Those are really fun groups, teams that, baseball's a sport. You spend so much time together off the field. And those teams, the teams that I was on from 94 to 97 were just a really close-knit group. And again, of course, you have Alex Cora and Pat Burrell that play in the big leagues. We had a lot of great players on that team that were just really good college players that kind of supported those 2 guys. So, fun teams to be around, teams that knew how to win, and just a great part of my life and this program.
I'm surprised A-Rod's name's not up there because I know he didn't go to Miami, but he sure supports the program. And you're pretty tight with Alex. Tell us
the ballpark is named after Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah.
So the ballpark's named after Alex, and we graduated together in 1993 from Westminster Christian High School. And we both had 8 a.m. Psychology 101, first day of class. And I was supposed to pick him up to go to school. I think he calls me, this is way before the cell phones and everything. He calls me like at 2, 3 in the morning saying, hey, don't pick me up. I just signed with the Mariners. I said, man, I'm sleeping. I'll call you in the morning. And I realized, oh, shit, I got to call him back, So, yeah, we're supposed to come to class that first 101 psychology class. All those stories about him, about to walk into class and they pulled him out and dropped his book bag. Don't believe all the, some stories are better for Hollywood. But we were supposed to go to Psych 101 that first Monday for class, and he signed that night before.
What was that like for you? I mean, he's in the big leagues at 18 years old. You're taking classes at Miami, and he's playing in the big leagues. What was that like?
It was great to see a childhood, really brother. I mean, we grew up together and spent a lot of time together. He spent all the summers at my house and stuff, and early on in his career, I signed with the Mets, and I got drafted in 1997, and I go to short season and A-ball and all that stuff. And I would always spend a couple of weeks in September, the longest homestand that Seattle would have. I would always go to Seattle. He'd fly me out to Seattle, and I'd spend time with him up there and walk around the locker room. And I saw Lou Pinello, rip into some guys a couple of times. And Alex knew it was coming. He'd say, hey, get out of the clubhouse when the game was over, and Lou would let somebody have it and stuff like that. But it was great, man. Just having one of the boys from the neighborhood, up there and watching him on TV, and it was, happy for other people's success always.
Who comes around more often, A-Rod or our own Yonder Alonso?
Yonder's around quite a bit. You probably can't see behind me with the glare, but Manny works out here every day. We got a group of 15, 20 big leaguers that are here. Nick Soto, our strength coach, really trains all those guys. So they come in here, and I think it's great for our guys to see.
That must be
the best of the best, right? And how hard they work and how much time they put into their craft. I think that's one of the things that makes us special here, and the people, the guys that are around all the time. But Yonder's around here, but Manny's here every day working out. And if he's not hitting, he's in the weight room on the field taking ground balls and stuff like that. So again, it's great for our guys to see what it takes to get to that level.
Well, JD, I hope you and the rest of the University of Miami family gets the result you're looking for tonight as they take on Indiana. Good luck to your Hurricanes this coming baseball season. We appreciate the time.
Thank you, guys.